All right, how's everybody doing? Kirk Fletcher here, just playing a little guitar, like I love to do. This is a little Albert Collins style groove made by my good friend Monster Mike Welch. Mike Welch, one of the baddest guitar players around. And I'm so glad that he made these backing tracks, so you can have something a little more human-like to play with and to jam with. So you should definitely check out, his backing tracks because they're really a lot of fun. And you know, why not? Well, today I just kind of want to talk a little bit about phrasing. And this is such a big part of blues guitar playing is the way you phrase things, the way you just move around these same notes and just do different combinations. And a way to really have different, ways to, combine these notes together is through listening. Like I say so many times, listening is really it. Knowing the difference between the different styles can give you more of an in-depth, way to go on your own style, because that's really what all this boils down to is you finding your own little pocket, finding your own style, when it comes to playing blues guitar. You know, I mean, for me, it was really two of the big things for me was combining this sort of West Coast, a little bit slicker sound with Chicago and Uptown, and really, to be honest, really, that really comes from like T-Bone Walker. And of course, obviously B.B. King. But the T-Bone Walker, he was sort of doing that, in a sort of more basic way, um, way back. So it's nothing really new. The new thing is me. I'm Kirk Fletcher and I'm doing it like I see it now from all of my experiences and things now. But it's really about, I reference even on that, just playing subconsciously, not even thinking about it. It's just in my subconscious to play sort of when I hear that groove in a T-Bone Walker kind of a. And kind of intertwine that BB King, kind of more earlier BB King style in there as a launching pad. I mean, it's so crazy. A lot of, you know, I would like to talk about blues a little bit too today, like I often do. You know, these musicians like Lonnie Johnson and T-Bone Walker, some of the forefathers to what we know as a singing string guitar, popularized by B.B. King and, a little later others, that singing string guitar, they were really sophisticated. I mean, Lonnie Johnson could play all different styles of guitar, and that kind of is where, I'm coming from. He's sort of the forefather for 2021 and what I do in a way. I mean, he would play with jazz people, he would play blues, he would play by himself, and all of these different things. And there's a lot of blues artists from way back. I'm talking country blues and all that, even before that actually played what was popular. They played popular music. They played other things besides just, playing blues. They played what the people wanted to hear. And this a lot of times is overlooked when it comes to blues. People say, oh, blues, okay. But the way it originated, the way it started was, from people playing for people. That was their form of entertainment to hear blues. So you can apply this to this day, and just when you think of the skill of people like Robert Johnson, Lonnie Johnson, B.B. King a little later, and all of these Muddy Waters, these musicians were amazing musicians. I mean, they had a feel. I've heard a million musicians play, and I've heard a million people try and play like these guys, but I've only found few that can really, you know, play this music and understand it and understand where it comes from and all of these different things and excel at, really putting that music across. Few people, you know. So, what I'm really getting at is like this whole thing of, like thinking of blues outside of just the 1-4-5 and kind of just thinking about, soul and heartfelt and that connection between, like just finding something and being emotional about it, is the thing, because these guys were musicians. They were blues musicians first and foremost, but they were also musicians and they played what was popular for the time as well as the most iconic blues ever, And you can hear this creeping into like people, even like B.B. King, Albert King. They done other songs too. I'm sure that B.B. King and Albert King and these people were influenced by people like Nat King Cole. And Nat King Cole was very popular. Muddy Waters was very popular at one time. And this is all before the English, kind of discovered them and brought them, to Europe and all this different stuff. This is before. I mean, these people regionally were selling a lot of records, and this was like a whole different time. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of blues. Um, a little bit of blues history and thinking about it a little bit different than what a lot of people think or their perception of blues, because it's way deeper. I mean, it's like you think about, like the great American songwriters being influenced by blues and vice versa. When you have people writing such prolific songs about their times and their generation and different things, you can listen to a record and hear, what's going on and what time it is. And I think that's very important. And I plan to do my part in 2021 to keep this great tradition going. So I hope everybody's doing good out there. And you know me, I'm all so passionate about this music and playing guitar and singing and writing songs and all that. So I just want to share that with you today. Hope everybody's doing okay. And I'll see you soon. Take care.